Grab my whiskey. I'm trying to. We don't care what R. Kelly did. Grab my whiskey. I'm trying to get drunk. We don't care what R. Kelly
It ain't
did.
official without the intro.
Yeah.
Right.
Did I say anything racist?
We're trying a new program tonight, everybody. Bear with us.
We'll get into it.
Enough of something.
It's been 2 weeks. We back.
Not only has it been
like-
2 weeks, but
We got the staff.
Is the intro playing right now?
it is.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Two honks, and Kevin.
Can you hear now?
You might hear something about the NBA.
No.
Okay.
Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks. Two honks,
You don't see the light, like as soon as it goes off. Boom.
I can't wait to listen back to this one.
Can't see my thumb in the camera. There we go.
Yeah, I can
go.
see that. Yeah, we're good.
All right. Well, today is March 23rd, 2022. Back after 2 weeks, 2 week hiatus. If you can't tell by the, I got to turn myself down now. I'm sure I'm blaring.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So about 2 weeks off, just mainly due to various family situations. So
Life.
yeah. So we just decided, rather than record another day, let's just take a couple weeks and. So along with that, we got a new program. We used to use Restream, but Melon hit me up with the email. They offered me a pretty freaking sweet deal, actually, for recording. So basically, it's typically, we'll get a little bit into the numbers here. It's typically like $500 a year for like a premium recording, and they offered it for like $150 for the year.
Nice.
So
We owe you money.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know if I can pass that up. I mean, we could try it for a year, and if we don't like it, then we can just go back to Restream. But
Right, or get the next deal, right?
yeah, well, this is for
Yeah.
life, so the 150 is for life. So
What?
that's part of the reason why I grabbed it. I was like, well, that's pretty cool, actually. So if you see us messing around, you see weird backgrounds, it's us just kind of messing around trying to get stuff right. If you hear and listen on the audio, you heard something funky at the beginning, that was me trying to figure it out. So
Somebody getting yelled at, that was me.
yeah, as always.
I'm good.
Hey, good. Hey man,
I'm good. I'm in my garage.
I've been thinking about you all day, Kevin, because in the news, have you heard about the Mike Braun thing, our senator? Where
No.
he said that he feels like it should be up to the states as to whether or not interracial marriage should be legal.
Really? Why is that a thing?
Wow.
Hey man,
Wow.
it's been getting really racist around here. But
Dude, I was like,
Wow.
Kevin.
Whoa, I thought we were past all that.
Yeah,
I knew
it was
I knew there were still some of us around that didn't really care for it, but I mean, it's still
wow,
up to
dude, look
debate
at the
on
story,
that.
bro. That's the real story.
Look. The whole thing was abortion, where he basically was like, it should be up to the states whether or not you get abortion, and then I think it was just him trying to dig down on that, and then when someone brought up, well, interracial marriage is a federal thing, do you think that should be up? Kind of just like trying to say, hey, look, the federal government constantly is making things illegal or legal, right? So, I mean, what do you think would be up to the state versus up to the federal government, right? And so one of the things the reporter brought up was like, do you think that, what about interracial marriage? Like, and then he was like, well, yeah, I think, basically he went on this I read it and was just rolled my eyes. I was like, oh my, anything to dig in.
What was the main bullet point? Like, what did he get asked? Because I see a tweet 2 days ago. He's talking about
Yeah.
the girls' sports thing.
Let's get some context around it.
Context.
Before I lose my
Because
mind.
it looks like it kind of. I don't know if this was the same thing. Because like this tweet 2 days ago, he puts girls' sports should be for girls and allowing biological males to compete with them robs female athletes of a chance to compete to win. I'm disappointed that Governor Holcomb vetoed a bill to make this law in Indiana, and I support a veto to override to protect women's athletics.
I think most people agree with that.
I mean, I don't disagree with that.
This whole male swimmer that's breaking all these female records.
You got to big that dude is.
I mean, it's like
he look like a wrestler.
Goofy. Yeah, I mean, it's.
Did you see? I like the meme that shows the rankings. So when he was a guy, he was ranked 446, and then he wins the national championship the next year. Like I think it's ridiculous. Like I don't even know how to phrase it without sounding like.
Well, it's not fair to the girls. Like it's not fair to the girls. Like it's not. I mean, we talk about being fair to the communities, right? Whether it's dependent upon race, dependent upon orientation or whatever. How is this fair to the girls?
Exactly. It's so silly. Like all of it. And what's silly is that you're supposed to be okay with it. Like you're supposed. Like that's how you're
supposed to change your minds.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to even word it because like that's why when I'm talking to you guys, I'm like I'm talking to you guys because I want to know how to word it. Like because I really don't want to talk about it because I did not want you to be like, he's a genderphobe. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I don't think it's that. See, you got to protect the girls. Exactly. Like it's it's kind of like what you said. Like who was that MMA fighter that was transgender and was just beating the ever living piss out of females.
Women. Yeah, I can't remember.
I know it was a couple years ago, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan kind of got caught. This was like one of the first Joe Rogan incidents that came out where he was basically trying to explain, like, look, man, even if it goes through, like growing up, like your tendons are different. Your
testosterone's different. There's just
certain, and even if you take testosterone blockers or whatever it is you take, like you still have grown. Like it's like I don't. Yeah. It's just it. I just think it's unfair to the girls.
Yeah,
You spent 25 years as a man, and then in a month period, you said you're now a female.
Yeah,
and then you want to go compete. I mean, I don't know how anyone's okay with that. I don't.
On top of that, you want men not to put their hands on women, and you're giving men the. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's still not right.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, like, there's part of me that says, okay, if this guy really does feel like a woman, then I feel sorry for him that he is getting the backlash that he is, But, like, everyone just has to view the sport as in whoever came in second place was the best swimmer. Like, whenever she's in the race. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, I mean, what do you do? Put an asterisk by it? Like, I can't believe this is going in record books for the NCAA. Is that what's happening?
It sounds like it. I haven't heard it.
Now, imagine if this was happening in the females basketball and the NCAA women's basketball, right? Let's say any great men college basketball player all of a sudden says, I feel, I identify as a woman. And then he goes and starts dominating against these women.
Posterizing people.
Yeah, I mean, dude. What if Joel Embiid wakes up tomorrow?
LeBron James on Kevin Love dunk people like just.
Oh, how great was that, dude? That was great. And then the way Kevin Love like put him in a headlock, I just loved it. Like, dude, you got me.
So it looks like he was asked this. Back to the story.
Yeah,
it looks like it has to do with that Supreme Court issue with. So that's what it looks like. It stemmed as.
Yeah. So the question
the
was.
Reporter asked you, would you be okay with the Supreme Court leaving the issue of interracial marriage to the states? And he says yes. If you're not wanting the Supreme Court to weigh in on issues like that, you're not going to be able to have your cake and eat it too.
That's just a weird answer.
We probably should talk about the Jackson Supreme Court story, right?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy too. I think.
What's that?
So there's a new Supreme Court nominee pick, right? And he picked, a woman, African American woman, and it's just the questioning is kind of almost insane, kind of weird. Well, see, there's two sides to it, right? I feel like.
Oh, what's this? What happened?
Well,
Whichever
we're
one
about to
happened,
get
we'll
into it. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, but I just want to preface it with I think it's kind of insane on both ends of it. On the first end of it is like, how can you question this girl with this lady, right, accurately without being called a racist? Like, I feel like regardless of what you're going to ask her, if you ask her something derogatory or something in a negative manner, anybody that will call you a racist, right? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a racist thing per se.
That's thrown around a lot right now.
So that's number one. But number two, what was it Ted Cruz said? Kevin, do you remember?
No, I remember that because I was talking to Jared about it. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, and then I think it's one of the senators was like every day has asked her about child porn.
So they're doing a confirmation to basically make her what, Richard?
Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to bring up the story. I watched a little bit on that whole Ted Cruz thing, but I wasn't too. It's you always get like this one small little clip, and I like to have heard the whole story, but I know he was questioning her about some books that I guess were in the school.
Oh yeah, it was a critical race theory. I think is what that was.
And the books was very much encouraging, I guess the pronoun situation, and then also you should be ashamed of your race, and there was a lot of that. So I don't know. That's been a big topic in news, I guess, is that whole critical race thing, but I'm not 100% sure what that's all about.
So the whole genesis of critical race theory is the fact that race is a man-made construct, right?
It's a man-made construct. You said?
Yeah, right. You're right. So it's just like it's the thought that we're all equal, right? Like everybody's equal, right. And the fact that we put labels on people for the color of their skin, right, is a man-made thing, right? Because you or I, as a white person, can grow up somewhere and have the cultural tendencies of a black person, right? That is what it is. So the thought is that it's a man-made construct that we have, and it's basically it's been used in, well, and that's the whole thing that's being weird is like it's being used with the legal system, right? Because we can say definitively without a doubt that African Americans tend to be targeted more in the legal system, right? In terms of they tend to get harsher sentences, they tend to, whatever.
Right.
Right. That's what that is. More. So like, and I don't really understand why people are saying critical race theory is being taught in schools, because my kids have never been taught that.
Right.
So, and I don't think anybody's ever intended to teach it that way, right? You're already taught about slavery in schools, right? I mean, all that's already being taught. I don't think anybody's going out of their way to say white man bad or, whatever. I mean, other than the slavery thing, but that is a whole other thing.
But I mean, is that what that is? Though? Is that where a lot of people get on the defense of it because they feel like it's preaching that the white man's bad?
It's not, though. That's not what critical race theory is. It's just not preaching one race over the other. It's preaching that all races are the same.
Which, like, honestly, that's my thought a lot.
Right.
Is that we all are the same.
Yeah.
We're just, like, it's, I think about this a lot, too. We all are tribal. It's not even a race. We're just tribal. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, we gravitate towards those that we relate to, that we maybe look like, we act like, we communicate like, that have the same beliefs, have the same structure, go to the same type of church. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I don't know if that's tribal or if that's just,
it's your social economics. Like that's just where you live economically. That's what you're going to relate to. If you grow up on 38th and Post, you're going to relate to that area. Versus if you grow up in Geist, you're going to it's less about race and more about your economic status.
Yes. It's so true. But I don't know why that has been such a division. But I say that, but I get that because
It's to get the votes. It's to scare people into voting for them.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
What do you mean? Hold on.
It's because if you tell the white man that he's being taught that he's bad in schools, you're going to get the votes. That's all it is. Critical race theory has never been taught in elementary school. It's been taught in law school. You literally have to have like 20 years of school before you even hit critical race theory. So the thought of it is ridiculous.
The thought of what? Of them teaching it in schools?
The whole premise of the politicians throwing their hat into the ring about it. Because it's never touched. Like,
so hold on. I guess I'm confused on your take on it. You're saying, why are we even stressing about it? It's not even hitting our schools.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's not. It's being stressed about because
are they only talking about it because it deals with race and it just brings news?
No, the politicians are talking about it because it hits their constituents, right? Yeah. You live in the South. You're Ted Cruz, right? Who's your voter base going to be? Right? It's going to be white guys. It's going to be the Donald Trump white crowd, right? That's going to be who gets you in office.
Right. And then the opposite side does the opposite thing. It's
right, but we're not talking about that. Like that's whataboutism. Like we're not even discussing that right now. Like, and we all agree that the other side does that too. Like it's like how we just talked about the Supreme Court pick thing, where it's like, well, now we're really sensitive in terms of the questioning we can ask. Whereas the past two people that were basically what was that guy that basically sexual assault allegations came out of some sort, like they really, and it was done illegally and nothing happened to the people that leaked the stuff. So I mean, both sides do the garbage of the political realm. Like that's not even in question.
I think it's just, I don't know. I sit back and just think about what's like happening in the country, where we're going, are we really all this divided? Because like, I really don't, on my day-to-day basis, I don't feel like we're this divided.
It's a game within a game, though. It's what you listen to and what you concentrate on. Like Richard said, the whole critical race theory thing is like, so it's being defined or projected by one side that, hey, they're telling us that we're bad people and that we should be ashamed of ourselves and people should hate us. And then the other side is saying, hey, we don't want this taught in school and we want to forget about slavery and just erase all this stuff ever happened, right? So that's really the definitions between both sides to me on the critical race theory, which is not, it's not really even changing anything that's being taught in schools. It's the same stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's really even being taught in, like, critical race theory isn't even being taught in schools. That's the whole thing.
Right.
It's illegal.
But if you ask somebody on one side, they can't even give you a definition of what critical race theory is.
See, I think this is kind of my point. No one's arguing about this. Yeah. No one's talking.
But they are. They are. But my normal day to day, I'm not talking about this. Like I know.
That's what I'm talking about. But
when people bring up arguments, they start talking about it. They're not even educated about it.
Right. No one is, dude. Just like COVID, just like this war. I mean, we've watched everyone become experts from COVID to, the war and peace, over the last few months. It's like everyone just becomes new experts of whatever's going on in the news,
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, I don't know, man.
That sounds like that's what started that, and I don't know why he linked what he said with it, kind of, but.
So let me ask you this, and hopefully I can get this out right. So, we all agree that we're all from, different cultures, different tribes, different, whatever you want to call it, right? Different beliefs. I feel like we live in a world where it's like, this is the acceptance time in America, right? You accept everyone, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter what you're like. There are moments where I'm like, dude, like, I was always raised a Christian, and it's almost now where I feel like Christians get a really bad rap. They get a bad name because, like, if I tell somebody I'm a Christian, they immediately assume that I am maybe XYZ, or I'm against gay marriage, or I'm against whatever, like you become a Chick-fil-A supporter or something all of a sudden or whatever. So I guess my question is that, like, aren't we
Chick-fil-A.
yeah, right. But my point is, like, aren't we just wired this way? Like, aren't we supposed to have that, like, I don't hate them for what they do, but I don't agree with what they do because that's just not how I was raised. That's not the belief system. That's not the, I don't know if that's too vague. I'm not really giving examples. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Okay.
And it would be nice if it was that way, but I mean, I think unfortunately the problem is we live in a society where people are trying to use their belief and use it to rule over other people, right? So whether it be like the abortion situation, or whether it be allowing transgenders to compete versus women,
right.
Regardless of what side you sit on, people are trying to twist your arm into living the way that they believe is right. It would be different if we all just lived our way and just basically had 10 commandments or whatever, just like don't kill, don't steal, don't do this, don't do these things that hurt other people. But other than that, live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and then there don't have to be like Christian commandments. Just don't do stupid shit. Like, that could just be the only rule. Don't do stupid shit.
But see, I think about that with, like, just the Christian faith, where it's like you spend your time trying to win people over, convince people, lead them to the Lord, all the cliche, phrases or whatever, to get them on your team, not the Catholic, the Jewish team, not the whatever team, but the Christian team, and then you become one of them. You're one of us. You're a brother and sister in Christ now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that just becomes, I'm telling you, dude, I'm just speaking from my heart, I guess, from how I felt growing up, is that, like, because I had this Christian faith, because I had this religion, because I was in this upbringing, I'm kind of better than you because I'm going to heaven, because you're not in this faith, you're not in this belief system, and my belief system is going to heaven, you're not. How, and like, I mean, so yeah, I mean that. So I just kind of
you're brought up that way. I mean, is that what you're saying? Is that you're brought up that way?
Yeah,
and I agree with you. So what's always bothered me, like, why, like, even like you said, like, even being brought up, like, going to heaven, I'm like, why can't my friends go to heaven? Like, just because they don't, like, why? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I just say all that to kind of hit that. Yeah, well, it just hits that not the tribalism. I guess it's tribalism. It's just that, like, we are designed to become like-minded, to surround ourselves with those that believe the same way we do, that communicate the same way we do. And, of course there's going to be division. Of course you're not going to understand, if your neighbor speaks a different language than you, then you're not going to connect to them on the level that you do as another neighbor. It doesn't mean you dislike them. It doesn't mean you hate them. It doesn't mean you're racist. It just means you don't connect with them because their language is different, simply because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like we're all kind of being judged on that as a whole, and which, like I've said before, like, I like that some of this movement has been accept others. Yeah, they're not like you. Your neighbors don't speak the same language as you. Doesn't mean you should hate them. It should mean, you should try to reach out, do more, reach out, try to talk to them, see how they do it. I mean, I think that's the good message of all this. But
right.
Yeah, I will honestly say, like, I do think that it's a good time. Like, everything's so accepting. Like, going to my kid's school, like, I feel like the stuff that people got picked on for and stuff like that, like, all the different kids are the cool kids now, and, like, the jocks and stuff, like, they get made fun of. So like, it's like a whole balance shift. But I wanted to go back to what you were talking about, Christianity and stuff. So like we're all brought up as Christians, and hearing you talk, and describe how it was, like, how do you even evangelize anymore? Like during this time, like I just remember growing up, go out and you go places and talk to people. Like that has to be like so different now. Like, is there different programs your church does or anything like that? Mean, it'd just be like, I feel like it would just ruffle feathers a lot right now.
My current church, I don't ever hear them really talk about like doing outreaches. I mean, I think my church is very much like, you know, come if you want. We're not real showy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they have some type of ways to reach out to the community, get get more attendance. I'm sure they use social media, but I don't know.
Does your church do things like, I know what's coming up is Easter. Does your church do like an Easter egg drop, or where they invite the community or anything like that? I know some churches do that now. My old church does all of that. Mm-hmm. The church that my parents actually still go to, and some of my other family members, but which, you know, I've been a part of that. Like I've seen all that, and I get it. It's just to get people to come to your church, but I don't know. I started looking at church a lot more like a business. Mm-hmm. The last 5-6 years of my last 5-6 years of my life. So it's just really kind of changed, my outlook changing my outlook on church. So I just view church differently now. You know, I mean, I think church is a good place where to meet a lot of good people. I do think there's some, black sheep out there, but they're all human. A lot of my friends, have come from church or, have a similar belief system than me. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying earlier, it's just when that's what you're raised in, it's all you know. But, so I don't like to dog on the church, I think it sometimes gets a bad rap in today's world, but they also do a lot of good, right. But yeah, I mean, that's it.
I just remember going out and doing some of that stuff, and then
just like going door to door. You're saying
it's just so different now. Like I feel like people were telling people like back then that you're wrong the way that you live and stuff like that, and like I would just think it's just totally different now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Like, think about telling someone that. Like,
I mean, 30 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that. Like, I remember it going out, like people
getting excited.
That.
Oh man,
we're losing him. He's getting excited.
I couldn't imagine saying that right now.
He's. Kevin, you're cutting out on us, dude.
Soaking up. He's soaking up. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think your internet dropped a little bit.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Hey, Amy cut that internet on you right when you started talking.
Yep.
She went,
no good points from Kevin.
Yeah. No good points for Kevin. Oh, man.
Maybe it is a good idea. Interracial marriage is illegal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To get up out of here. I mean, it's illegal up in here. I gotta go.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'll be honest. Like I remember being raised where that was kind of frowned upon. Dang, the mixed races, and I don't know why. Like I don't know if that's somewhere in the Bible where it's hinted to that or something.
Yeah, it's the Babylon's the Tower of Babel. The whole point of God separating people was because God didn't want everybody to get together like that. Because like remember how they were making the tower to heaven, and then God said no, and then all of a sudden everybody spoke different languages and everything, and that's
got the verses for you, boy.
Yeah,
he got receipts.
Yeah, well, he went to Bible school. I mean, he hasn't been to church in 10 years, but he's been to Bible school.
I can still get on the pulpit, but
I know you can preach with the best of them, I'm sure. I've always heard about that story with Babylon, where that's kind of how we got all of our different languages.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you said that because I was listening to a podcast earlier today and they were talking about how much easier everything that's going on globally would be if we spoke the same language.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how much easier the communication and the conversations back and forth between Russia and whoever, if we were speaking the same language. So maybe that was put there for a reason. I don't know. What's the point?
It's weird. I've heard a lot around Russia here lately. What's going on in that realm?
Well, apparently they weren't as big of a threat as we thought they were. I mean, they said there's so many Russian bodies piled up.
Really?
Yeah.
Ukraine has a website.
Well, they're trapped.
Ukraine has a website of basically, and it shows like photos of dead Russians so that their families can pick them out and have them shipped back home.
Oh my gosh! Dude.
Because their dog tags, I guess, aren't engraved; they're like written on instead of being engraved, which is what we do here. So they're not legible, so they don't know who these people are. So they set up this website. I'm not looking at it, but I've read about it, and basically it's just pictures of just dead bodies. And then if you're in Russia and you think your family member is dead, you can go on this website and see if you can find them. And we'll ship them back to you.
Just think about how terrifying that is, man.
Yeah,
go to a website and just see a picture of your loved one sitting there just...
No, I mean, just like... And I don't know how you guys have been feeling lately. Like, I think I've been down in the dumps a little bit. I think, high gas prices, just everything skyrocketing, just trying to keep up, trying to feel like a man and, supporting the family. And, I've had thoughts of like, dude, like, what if I can't go to the grocery store and get chicken? What if I can't get milk? Like, how bad can this get? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just gotten so expensive.
But you know what? As much as we shit on Trump, we should have been doing this all ourselves. We should not have been outsourcing all. We should not have been outsourcing all this food. We should not have been outsourcing all this oil. We should have been providing it for ourselves.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I would say up in the middle. Yeah.
That's
what
Trump definitely pushed that, but yeah, I mean, it just I just lost my train of thought where I was going with that, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I read today that a lot of these Russian generals are getting killed because their soldiers are refusing to do things. So these generals are all getting killed. I've heard multiple stories. I've heard stories that they were lied to as to why they were there. I've heard that they were told that they were on some sort of a peace mission.
Peace treaty or something, yeah.
Yeah, and I was told also that they were there to stop some sort of a guerrilla army that was trying to overthrow Ukraine. I've read that. And what's true and what's not true, I don't know. But, I mean, I've read that, they probably were not told honestly why they were there. And that could be a big reason why they don't have the... I don't know. They probably don't want to do it, whatever it is they're doing.
So would you say that like they're like breaking even, or Ukraine is winning, or
as of right now, Ukraine is beating the piss out of them.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude,
from what I've heard, they basically have them trapped because there's only one way in and one way out. So they know where they're coming in. So they're just picking them off from the border. Now, have we got involved at all? Has U.S. helped
other than sanctions? And I think we did send some of our drones over. If you count Elon Musk's involvement,
let's go.
And then I think some of the army stuff, not army, but military stuff that we've lent other countries, they've given to them. Yeah. So
nice.
I mean,
so everyone's helping Ukraine basically.
Dude, like it's bad when China's like, you probably should back off. Like, so
Putin won't, right? I mean, that's the biggest.
Here's a story. Here's a funny story I read. Was that they wanted to invade during the Winter Olympics because that was like when the frost set in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
China said, no. Don't do that. Wait till after Olympics because this is our stage right now.
Winter is coming.
Right. So they wait. And now that they've waited, the frost is thawing, so a bunch of their tanks are getting stuck.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Because the ground's so soft.
Yeah.
So China knew Russia was going to attack.
Yeah, because
We all
that's their
knew.
biggest ally, right?
You remember those stories that where Biden was saying, dude, Russia's going to attack Ukraine, and Ukraine was like, no, calm down. Russia's not going to attack us. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, don't put that out there.
Yeah, and then the whole time everybody was saying, "Hey, dude, you're about to get attacked." That's like,
Man,
okay.
that's crazy, dude. Yeah, that the point I was making earlier was like, I was kind of being, sad about, high gas prices or whatever. But then it's like when you stop and just think about what they're going through,
Mhm.
people that are just like you and I, trying to work, trying to have a life, trying to pay bills, and meanwhile, you're getting bombed. You're having to figure out if the man of the house needs to go serve, if you need to lock up the door. Like, I mean, dude, like I can't. It's like I'm not made for that, man. Like I don't know if I'm ready for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I obviously, when shit hits the fan, you step up, but still, it's just like I like this comfortable life. I don't want it to change.
Could you imagine if
You know?
Canada invaded and they were like, "Yeah, if you're between the ages of 20 and 45, you gotta go."
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I got a bad back, my knees hurt. I have too many kids.
Let me go find a hammer so I can break my knees.
I was worn out after cutting the grass, right?
Yeah, had this really bad skydiving accident that just happened.
Just this afternoon.
yeah, I jumped off my roof. So, it's just. Go ahead.
I will say that everything got expensive. It was like gas was the last thing.
Dude, dude, this is something else I don't want to talk about. When I tell you we can't hire mechanics, we can't.
Ridiculous, man.
It's done. It's like I think it's done. Why?
Because everybody needs a mechanic.
No, nobody wants to do the work, Kevin. No one wants to do the work. I'm telling you,
they don't get paid better at other places.
They don't get paid enough, especially where I work. Yeah, I'm telling I've been talking to some of the mechanics out, like some of the head guys out in our shop. I'm like, what are we gonna do? Because it's simply like we'll see some young guys come in here, 20, 25 or whatever, and I mean they're here for like 3-4 weeks, and they're like, no, I ain't working this hard for this amount of money. It's not enough.
It's a generation thing, Richard.
Very much.
Well, no, not really. I mean, why do that when you can go do a 12-week coding boot camp and make $90,000 a year, work from home?
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. I mean, there's a huge IT shortage. Why would you want to go be a mechanic when you can go take a 8-week long course and go get hired for $70,000 somewhere, sitting and working from home with full-time benefits? Why?
It's the market, man.
I don't know. Why am I still doing what I'm doing? Why am I talking to mechanics?
I mean, we need to make Richard our life coach.
No kidding. Richard don't figure it out. Crap. But I'd be so bored at home all day. Oh my god. Well, you're different than me though.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I get up, right? I take the kids to school. I work for a few hours, right? I go to the other room. I work out for about an hour. I work for another hour. I take an hour lunch, work for a couple more hours. That's my day.
Still got the nerve to take an hour lunch and you at home.
Dude,
I got
my Xbox time in home.
Hey, I got so bored hearing you say that because you were alone the whole time.
Dude, I'm good with that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference between you and I. Like I thrive off of other people, and I mean sometimes I don't want to deal with people.
That's what Zoom calls are for.
Zoom calls and text messages are for.
Yeah, that's true. Our text message alone is God, dude. Every 5 minutes, man, it's just getting blown up. I barely look at it anymore. I can't keep up. It's like its own app,
I think does Jared still work from home? It's probably because Jared and I work from home. So
it's still entertaining. It's just a lot of times it's like I'll see it and I'm like, okay, I gotta look at that later. I can't do it right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel like I am. Like just get busy. So what is your place trying to do about the mechanics today? Is there a plan or?
I don't know. We're short about 15 employees right now, and I mean, like I said, like
That's a big deal for a smaller place like your guys.
yeah, I'm kind of thinking along the lines of, like we're saying, it's not I don't think it's a generational thing. I think guys are always going to want to, most guys are mechanics. I think there's always going to be guys that like to do that type of work
For sure.
but for that amount of money and the wear and tear on your body and just
People have more options.
How many hours do your mechanics work? I mean, that's the other thing.
It's usually 40.
Okay.
They don't get. Did they get paid by the hour?
Yeah, paid by the hour. When you hear the bell, you get your 30-minute lunch, and then you go back out. You hit the grind again, and it's like I told one of the guys. I said, honestly, it's a job. If it started paying $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, if not more, you would start getting more people that are engineered mind, that enjoy fixing things, and because that is a big generation. You just have to pay them enough to be able to freaking go to work.
Yeah.
Because it's the crappiest of a job. Yeah, meanwhile, the guy that sits in the office up front who makes more than 10 employees at a time, 10 mechanics, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's nothing against either position. We all thrive to be in different positions, but I mean, I just, that's how I look at it. Like, these guys are the reason we're making so much freaking money.
Yeah.
Because they work their ass off putting these trailers together, but we want to pay them $15 freaking dollars an hour to start when they can go to Crew Car Wash right down the street and make $16 an hour, telling someone to move forward and put it in neutral.
Or go to Costco, go on a forklift and make $23.
Yes, exactly. It just, I don't know, man.
People got to figure it out, man. And also the other thing too is, like, you read these stories about how these CEOs are making 523 times the amount of like a worker. It's like, why is that guy making so much and this guy's making, like, why isn't this balanced out a little bit?
That is so much it, and that's been my thought so much lately, where it's like, I work for a year to get a raise and it's 80 cents, but meanwhile, it's stupid. But meanwhile, my company raises its rates $35 on the hour, continually make more money. My bosses get more bonuses. My bosses gets even more bonuses.
Pyramid scheme, homie.
I mean, dude.
Yeah. There it is. Dude, that's the best analogy to it. Yeah,
it is. I mean, and we all know it, but we're all doing our job to get to the next position, just like Kevin just did.
Yeah,
like Kevin just did.
And this is why people
I'm tired of training my next bosses.
This is why people don't want to work, Blake. This is why people are either A, they're going to work for themselves, whether it be an Uber or Lyft or something else, or they're getting a tech job or something else.
Yeah.
It's easier jobs for the money that they're paying. Like, it's totally different now.
But I watch it over and over and over again. No matter how much money you make, you adjust to that spending, and you're in the same boat. You just maybe have a nicer home finally, or a nicer car, or potentially a boat, but you're still living. Maybe you're right. I honestly would like to know how many people in America safely can say, I can access $10,000 right now. What percentage do you think of people can say that?
1 in
probably less than 3%.
Yeah, I would say
So who's to blame for that? Do we live above our means?
It depends. Gas is $4 a gallon. Like, I can't.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
Because sometimes I think about this. I definitely don't think we really live above our means. I mean, but then again, I buy expensive shoes and I complain about being broke sometimes. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, but sometimes I wonder, like, are we all in houses too big? Are we all in cars that are too expensive? Are we, you know what I'm saying, to where it's like, we don't have $10,000.
We are in cars that are too expensive just because the car market right now.
Yeah, I think you do see some of that. I mean, I don't know. I think you see some of that, and at the same time, it's like, I feel like the businessman has figured out more ways to take money out of your pocket to make it harder. You know what I mean? Like, my insurance is going up constantly. My sewer went up by $30 a month. gas is up to $4. I can't get out of the grocery store without spending $100, and that's with what I need. I get what you're saying, living above your means, but at the same time, it's just, man,
we're getting nickeled and dimed for
sometimes
everything.
too, living above your means. Sometimes it's just like it's what you got to do to survive, man. Like you just want to be happy, and
I know.
I mean, you buy the shoes, right? I mean, it just makes you happy. Like you just life is.
Yeah.
Life is always beating the shit out of you. And it's like, if a pair of shoes makes you happy, go buy the fucking pair of shoes, bro.
Let's go. Put it on a credit card. Who cares? You'll pay it off in 30 years.
Look, dude, you're probably going to die with that debt. Like, it's just buy the shoes. Like, it's sad to say.
I know.
It's like, and that, you know what? This is also why my wife and I never merged our student loans. Right? Because if you merge your student loans as a married couple, if one of you dies, you owe that amount.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't, then if you die, then that debt goes away. So there's things like that. It's just like, it's ridiculous. Like, I think people are just willing to die with the debt.
Yeah. Because it's like, you can't keep up anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares? Like,
you're losing. Yeah.
I mean, Richard, what happened to you? Like, I almost feel like there should be something out there to protect people for what happened to you. A $20,000 bill hits your life.
Yeah.
Right? No matter how much. If you have $20,000 saved, first of all, congratulations. You're in the 1%.
You're winning.
And then if you do have $20,000 saved, it's not for your sewer system. It's for your kids. Yeah. It's for emergencies. It's for when shit hits the fan. So it's like, I just don't, and like we do okay. We do okay.
And insurance. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. The businessman will always find a way to take your money, even if that never happened. Say, someone would still probably be taking my money if I had insurance. My money's always going to somebody. It's either going to go fix that or it's going to go to that guy with insurance. So you're going to get my money regardless if that happens or not.
Right.
So why are we working 10 to 12-hour days?
Why?
Dude, it's stupid.
People are making that decision, though, Blake.
That's why I take my hour. That's why I take my hour lunch, Kevin.
Yeah. people are why would I beat myself up as a mechanic and make this stuff? I'm going to owe money anyway. I might as well be happy.
Yeah.
Might as well not be. Yes.
Yeah. I can't afford to come to work. So why am I doing this? It's like, and I that's the thoughts, like, especially being in this industry and I'm watching these truck drivers come in stressing out about the can't find trailers and, just all the stuff in this industry. I'm just like, dude, there are so many people hurting right now and we have no clue. Like, and then once again, prices just keep on rising. And I'm like, no wonder the suicide rate is up. No wonder I would assume the homeless rate is up and all that. I don't know. Yeah. I don't pay attention to all that, but
that's why people living in vans right now.
I know.
Sorry, you see all these shows. You see all these shows pop out now with like, make your van like a home. Like, have you seen those shows on Netflix?
Yeah. See it I watch it on TikTok all the time.
You start glorifying your if you live in a home, like you're awesome, you're cool. Yeah. You're cool if you're how cheap can you live?
Bro. You broke, bro.
Yeah, for real. For real. I can't remember if we shared this one or not, but I saw a guy filling up his RV on Instagram and he videoed it. It was $994 to fill up his RV. I was like, dude, forget that.
Yeah, no.
You gotta be rich just to have an RV, I guess.
That's a credit card I could pay off.
I mean, facts. Facts.
Look at I can do with a $994.
I know.
I'd walk wherever you going, buddy.
Yep. I don't know, man. So you guys excited for March Madness? Are we into this or are we over it? I know there's a lot of sports headlines going on, I guess.
St. Peter's or whatever, they're still in it, aren't they? They won their second game, didn't they?
Yeah, they play tomorrow, right? They play Purdue, I think is it tomorrow or Friday?
Purdue's going down.
I think it's Friday.
You think so?
Purdue, dude, Doug's taking them, man. He's taking them all the way to the championship game. Is that his name, Doug? The white guy?
Yeah, Doug, yeah.
I don't know if
TikTok was dope, man.
They said that school has like no star recruits.
Yeah.
None of their recruits are starred. And there's like a $3 million. It's only like a $3 million program. Like, and their stadium seats like 3,000 people.
Yep.
Like
they said the Kentucky coach makes more than what the program like brings in or gets. Yeah. But I mean, like I mean, of course, it's always fun to watch a team like this, but it just shows you if you get a team that has been together and knows each other and has that chemistry, like it doesn't matter. I mean, we saw it happen here with Butler. You just have that perfect formula and you just hit the right shots. I mean, some of it's luck. Yeah, I remember those Butler runs. I mean, some of the stuff that happened was like, dude, you guys got so lucky. Yeah. But still, you're there.
Well, I think too, some of it is when you get to those big schools like that and you get those 4 and 5-star recruits. Those guys know they're going to the NBA, so they're really just trying to put on a showcase for themselves. Whereas a team like St. Peter's or Butler, they're like more of a, hey, we're all in this together.
They're like an AAU team that's been together and united, and
versus having a bunch of Kyrie Irvings on your team. Who just trying to look
Kyrie's so good. He's so good. He's so good.
They play Friday at 7 o'clock.
He's played 18 games this year, but he's so good, dude.
I'd be that good too if you played 18 games in the year.
I know.
You're rested. Everybody else played half a season.
I know, but he's still so good. I think they're about to change the law in New York.
Yeah, I saw that come across. I mean,
it's about time.
COVID's been over, dude.
It's just. I mean, it just like it kind of. I mean, I know it's still a thing, and I take it serious and all that, but like it just shows you it was just something to talk about. Like it just. They had nothing else to talk about.
Blake, so that's one of those things to where like it's at a snap of a finger, it was gone, and it's like, hey, was that even real?
I don't know.
I was saying it the whole time. Obviously,
I know it is real, but it's just like everybody's focus just changed.
Well, I was going to say that there's like a new wave that shut down China and is shutting down the UK.
Really?
Yeah, because the war's about to end. I'm just kidding. I don't know. They're like, bring it back.
Yeah.
Start it now. I would be so pissed because it's coming back. These masks are not. Dude, I saw a lady. I was so happy walking out of hot boxes. I went to go pick up some hamburgers. Anyways, it doesn't matter. And she had her face mask on, and the wind blew it off, and she was trying to catch it with her chin and her shoulder. And I was just like, come on.
It's 50 cents. Let it go.
Just be done with it. But then again, I understand, like, there was so much fear pushed, and I understand.
You know what, though? Like, for me, right, I just don't want to get sick. And I don't know, dude. Like, I think... So the kids' school, they stopped doing the mask thing, I think February, I want to say the week of the 28th or something like that.
Yeah.
That week, both my kids got sick. And I guess there was just, sickness was rampant in the school. And
you think that's because they had masks on this whole time?
Dude, yeah. I mean, that's
But sick of what, though? Like just cold?
Yeah, it was like a nasty cold. But they were both knocked out for like 3 or 4 days. So it was a pretty brutal cold. But neither one of them had COVID because we got them tested just to be safe. But yeah.
But I wonder if some of that though is like their immune. Maybe it shocked a lot of those kids' immune system just because they have been covered up. But I don't care if you were covered up. You're still breathing. Like I just don't know. I believe what you just said, but I also just don't buy into so much of it. Like I just think sometimes I got a cold right now. But I didn't once think it was COVID. Like I really didn't. A month ago, I'd been like, "Oh crap, is this the beginnings of COVID?" Yeah, and I'd say, "No, I'm just, it's sinuses, But
yeah, that's going around now too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's I don't know. Obviously we lost people. One of my best friends lost his mom. Like that shit was real, man. But I also just think it just fed into everything that the fear driven. I mean, it's no different than the news. We always talk about it. It's like it just spits out all the fear, Every neighborhood, there's something bad happening. And it's like, I just wish there was one news out there that would just talk about all the good stuff that happened in the city.
That's not drama.
I mean, seriously, talk about what your local
shit.
Yeah, talk about what the local churches did, what the local hospitals done. How many people survived COVID? This month.
Yeah.
How many doctors?
How many people survived COVID?
Yeah, yeah. Like how many? Like, can I have a stat of how many black people that didn't get shot by a cop this week? Like, can we have that?
Positive.
How many interracial marriages survived this week?
Yeah. Thanks, Mike Braun.
Yeah, give me that ticker. How many weeks mixed marriages have been legal?
I mean, how many times that Kevin did not get yelled at today?
That'd be hilarious. We should have a ticker on that for our group text.
There you go.
It's like the warehouse countdown, like 0 days without injury. Like that's
yeah. There you go. Yeah, 0 days safe. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much about this, but I'll let you guys geek out about it just because I've heard it in the news. The new Batman is supposed to be amazing.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Look, man, maybe I'm just tired. It's like the 9th Batman movie, and like I don't know how long.
Batman.
I mean, it was fine. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. I think the thing people like about it is it's an artsy film. It's like the music is good and the picture is great. It's got great screen, and I kind of thought it was boring, honestly. For the most part, I thought it was too long. But it was fine. Like, I didn't dislike it per se, but it was like I was clock watching at the last 30 minutes of it. I will say that.
Oh, really? You're just kind of waiting for it to get over?
Yeah, it was like, is this like I felt like the dialogue was kind of boring. If you're a Batman fan, you're gonna like it. You're kind of geek out because it's like I think it's like his second or third year as Batman. I think is how this is being portrayed as, and so it kind of gives you a look into Batman as like. The pre-ladies man Batman, the buff shit Batman. Like, he's like an emo dude. Like, and that's like what Batman would be, right? If you're in the dark in the cave all the time, right? You're gonna be kind of a scrawny-ish emo kid that's not good with women, and that's kind of what it was. So it was kind of interesting in that aspect. I would say.
So do they change the Batman characters on each movie? Like make it like a little bit different, like a little bit different character.
Batman,
I can't even talk.
So there's different iterations of Batmans in the comics. So this was the Detective Comics Batman, which is less flashy and more just solving ish.
And they kind of do that with Spider-Man too, huh?
Yeah, no, not to that extent. But they do change like who Spider-Man is. But I think Spider-Man's always kind of had the same foundation in terms of
so far. Yeah, so far.
Until they introduce Miles Morales, and that'll be a whole different thing. But in terms of Batman himself, like, I mean, for the past, 4 or 5 movies now, it's been the dark, gritty Batman, it's like the dark. But then you have the Dark Knight, which was Christian Bale's Batman, and then you have this Batman, which is more of a detective noir Batman. So, and that's also how the comics run, is you'll have, depending upon who's write the series, because you have different writers that write the comics. Is not the same writer the entire run. Depending upon what he's writing is whatever they depict it to be. So that's kind of what they did with this.
And then Kevin, tell me about that doc that you started watching yesterday.
I watched the first episode. I watched the first episode.
I finished it yesterday. It's called Bad Vegan. And
I watched the trailer today. So I got that far.
Honestly, it was one of those things where it was like, I needed something to watch, nobody's here, and I just turned on, and so I saw the title Bad Vegan, and I watched the trailer, right? It's about this lady that basically just gets just duped, basically into giving all her money away, and
it was stupid though, dude. Like, she was stupid about it.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
Especially when she found out about the arrest and was like,
all her friends, all the warning signs were there.
Yep.
All her friends warned her, and
so
she did what she did.
The first episode, you learned that this dude got arrested, and that the name that he gave her, what was his name, was a false name the whole time, and she just went with it.
Wow.
She just went with it.
And Blake, this honestly is like 45 minutes an episode, 4 episodes, so it's quick.
Okay,
it's a good story. But she ends up basically owning this restaurant, dating a chef and learning how to be a chef, and getting her own restaurant, like one of the most popular restaurants ever.
Yeah.
And basically lost all her money to just some random guy she met on Words with Friends.
Isn't that? Oh wow!
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I wonder if there's, I think about this all the time. Like, especially raising daughters, like everything is driven to have a love story.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has. So I just wonder if it's just so easy for these women to get swept off their feet by just manipulative men, or they feel sorry for them, or they want, because they are women and they naturally want to fix things. They're natural mothers already, so they want to fix somebody, and then they just get with the dirtiest of people, but they love them because they want to fix them, and you know what I'm saying? Like even with that Tinder swindle, whatever that one was, it was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just these girls that, oh my God, this guy's in trouble. He's really rich though, so I know he's going to pay me back. But I want to help him. So here's $25,000.
It's
it's just
kind of like the same story.
Weird.
And like he never put his hands on her. It's just all manipulation, dude.
I think it kind of shows too, like how much people. This sounds super cheesy, but like how much people just want to be loved, right? Like you just want somebody. Yeah, you just want somebody, man. Like you want somebody.
You want someone to sweep you off your feet.
Yeah, I mean,
every day.
Yeah, every day. That's right.
Yeah. Every guy wants a pat on the back.
That's right.
And I'm proud of you. And every woman just wants to be swept off their feet and be adored. And we don't do either thing to our significant other. You know what I'm saying? Right. Kevin, do the dishes.
I just want silence.
Yeah. Just don't talk to me.
But yeah, it's crazy. And one of the things you hear a lot in there is he throws that in that you want the happily ever after. So like it's kind of touches on what you're saying. Like you just it really is crazy. It's like it's so easy to leave this person. It's so easy,
Yeah. All you gotta do is promise them some stuff, man. I haven't even watched a documentary, but I'm assuming it's just a bunch of salesman pitches. Yeah,
it's pretty decent though. It's just interesting.
Yeah, there's so much. I hardly ever click on the Netflix. I did watch the Kanye West thing. I thought I
put that on my list. I watched the trailer for it when I finished that.
Okay,
I was just trying to see how many episodes it was.
Yeah, I think it's just 3. The first one's a little boring. The second one, I think I've talked about a little bit on here. It kind of shows you how talented he is, and then the third one, you kind of see fame starts hitting him a little bit, and I mean, I don't know. I try not to judge the guy. I can't imagine living that life. He's definitely an egomaniac, but I think you have to be an egomaniac to get to that level sometimes. I don't know, but it was pretty interesting though.
I don't know why this reminded me of this, man. Hey, man, those Kardashians ruin lives, bro. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. Kardashians seem to be winning.
I'm telling you, man. They got some illegal stuff, bro.
Got some illegal stuff.
Yeah, you find out that they're like heavy arms dealers or some shit. Really, like they run in part.
It's like a cult or something, man. They're ruining lives. Lamar Odom. What was the other dude?
Tristan Thompson.
Kanye. Ray J. What was the other dude? Other basketball player. A list, man.
O.J. Simpson.
Reggie Bush. Wasn't Reggie Bush in the mix?
Reggie Bush. Yeah.
O.J. Simpson. He was the beginner.
That is
well
true.
Played, Richard. Well played. O.J. Simpson. Oh my God, it's so funny.
They take a man and then they are forgotten after that.
They're legit man eaters.
They're straight Illuminati up in there.
I'll tell you what, though, you talk about someone that benefited off of 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah,
I mean, they built a dynasty, and I mean, and like, people like to crap on them, and it is what it is, but it's like, good for them. I mean, what's the difference of them doing what they did or some YouTuber making it big by doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they took a situation that was maybe potentially embarrassing at first and just turned it into something. You know, like it is kind of amazing.
I think this year is the last year of their TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that. And sometimes with this whole Kanye West stuff, sometimes I think it's all for the show. It's all for publicity. Yeah, but who knows? There is. I don't have Showtime, but there is something out on Bill Cosby.
Is it?
It says we need to talk about Bill Cosby. I think it's the name of it, something like that. So I think it goes down the path about we need to talk about him for how great of an impact he had on the black culture, but we also got to talk about him how he was a monster.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. I mean, it really is sad.
I got Showtime.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to give me that password, okay?
There you go.
I got that.
Can we have a watch party?
Yeah, for real. Let's just do it on the podcast. We can commentate.
Next
We can
week.
commentate to it. Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. So, yeah, man, too much to watch though. You know.
It is, man. That's why I don't even turn on Netflix anymore because it's like I'll just get lost in it.
You get inundated with stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Too much. I'd normally just stick to like YouTube. Like I got a couple shows and podcasts I listen and watch on there and kind of like that. And I've been getting in Discord more too because they'll have live streams of like the hobby stuff that I do. So yeah,
that's crazy. It's just crazy how
I
many.
don't even need TV anymore.
Dude, facts. But I mean, that's just such an example of how like we all have the same device, and we all have completely different interests and different things that we click on, different things we share, different things we love, different things it's like we're just different people, man. It's like it's so simple, but whatever.
Yeah,
well, my dog is like passed out, tongue hanging out, and everything. She's so lazy.
It's crazy,
Sorry.
man.
Random.
Cool.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Did decent on here, man.
Yeah.
Do what? Well, yeah, we hadn't talked in a couple weeks.
I
had people hitting me up saying, "Are you guys on a sabbatical or what?" What's up, Landon?
We
What's up,
can't
Landon?
out, Landon.
By people,
Yeah.
you mean one person?
Landon.
Yeah, it was one. It might have been one, but hey, it makes me
Yeah.
feel good. My
Landon,
dad
you
said
take the spot.
My dad said something. That's two.
Your dad asked, "Did you get kicked out the group?"
Yeah, I said no. I said I had a miss, so they didn't record.
Nah, it was one of those things. It was like perfect timing because I was busy too. I was like,
I know.
"Yeah, we might as well just, yeah."
I wanted to make it work because I even told my cousin Derek, I was like, dude, you're going to be at my house. I want to do the podcast with you. And then it became my sister and brother-in-law, and it became a whole, I was cooking for everybody. And I was like, oh, crap, this isn't going to happen. So,
layup.
But we had good family time. I got a daughter that's now 13, so that's kind of crazy. But
teenagers.
I know, man. I know. Got to deal with all that now.
Getting up there, man.
Yep. All right, hit that sexy music time, Richard.
It's been playing.
We can't even hear it.
I know, it's been playing now.
Oh, really? I wonder what's up with that.
Yeah, I have to look at that. I have to get one of you on later and kind of see if we can figure out what's going on.
Right on.